Hello and welcome. Today we are unlocking a piece of grammar that is, and I'm not kidding, your secret weapon for the IELTS exam. We're talking about the future perfect continuous. If you stick with me for just the next few minutes, you'll know exactly how to use this thing to really push your score into that coveted band 7 and maybe even higher. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what this tense even is and why it's such a big deal. Then, we'll crack the code with a super simple formula. After that, we'll get into the when and the why, see how to use it to blow your examiner away, and then we'll wrap up with a little practice for you. Sound good? Let's do it. All right, let's jump right into section 1. What exactly is this tense? And, more importantly, why should you even care about it for your IELTS test? Let me ask you this. If you're really serious about hitting that top score, you've got to show the examiner that you can handle complex grammar, right? Well, using the future perfect continuous correctly is one of the absolute clearest ways to do that. It signals advanced control of English. Honestly, it is a total game changer. Okay, here's the key thing to get your head around. This tense isn't just about the future. It's about an ongoing action that has a duration and that leads up to a specific moment in the future. It's kind of cool, actually. It connects the past, the present, and the future all in one very elegant sentence. Now for the fun part. I know this tense looks complicated, but it's really just a simple formula. Think of it like a recipe. Once you know the ingredients, you can make it perfectly every single time. And here it is, your 3-part formula for success. It's so easy. First, you need a subject. You know, who or what is doing the action. Next comes the engine of the tense. These 3 magic words, will, have, been. This part never, ever changes. And finally, you just add your action verb with an ing on the end. Subject, engine, action. That's it. Let's see this formula in the wild. Look at this example. By the time I finish my course, I will have been living in London for 2 years. See the parts? I is the subject, will have been is our engine, living is the action. And notice the 2 crucial time elements, the duration, for 2 years, and that specific future point, by the time I finish my course. Perfect. Okay, you've got the formula down, but the big question is, when do you actually use it? Getting the timeline right is everything. Let's try a little mental exercise. I want you to imagine you're a time traveler. You've jumped forward to a specific point in the future. Let's say it's your graduation day. Now, from that point, you look back and you talk about the entire time you were studying. That's the perspective. That's the secret to using this tense correctly. This timeline here shows it beautifully. You see, the action starts at point 1, in the past or even right now. It keeps going all the way to point 2, which is some specific deadline in the future. The whole point of this tense isn't the start or the end. It's about focusing on the duration in between. That's the magic. All right, let's get practical. How do we take all this theory and turn it into actual points in the exam room? How do we really impress that examiner?
Just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got a good sentence. I will learn English for 5 years next month. Nothing wrong with it, it's fine. But now, look at the great sentence on the right. It's so much more precise, more sophisticated. It shows you can connect the past 5 years of work to a specific moment in the future. That is what gets you the higher marks.
So imagine you're in the speaking test, and you're asked about technology. Dropping a sentence like this is incredibly powerful. You're not just stating a fact, you're reflecting on the long-term, ongoing impact of something. It shows real depth and an impressive command of grammar. And in writing task 2, this is pure gold. This structure lets you talk about the long-term consequences of an action you're proposing. It adds this amazing layer of sophistication to your argument, showing a process that's been unfolding over a whole decade.
So, we've covered the what, the why, and the how. Let's just do a super quick recap of the most important rules to make sure this all sticks in your brain.
Okay, remember these simple rules. Do use it for an action that has duration. Always ask yourself, for how long? Do include a specific future point in time. That's non-negotiable. And do stick to that will have been plus verb ing formula. And on the flip side, don't use it for a single short action. And please, don't get it mixed up with the future perfect simple. That's for actions that will be finished. This is for actions that will have been ongoing.
And that is pretty much it. You now have the formula and the understanding to use one of the most advanced and impressive tenses in English. So I'll leave you with a challenge. Using this exact structure, what will you have been achieving by this time next year? Give it some thought. Thanks for joining me today.